Okay, Bestie, I know this is a long time coming and I know I haven't uploaded in a while. There is a reason why, and I'll share that with you at the end of today's video. But today we are doing something very, very interesting. Today I'm going to be talking about my holiday, which actually happened about 2 weeks ago now, or maybe a week and a half ago. I went to Vegas. I took £1,600 of me to spend on just having fun, just being in Vegas, doing what I need to do. I've got loads to fill you in on, so let's get into what I spent in Vegas. Today we are here in my budgeting journey planner. It's absolutely beautiful. We're going to be checking in from the 16th to the 29th. Now I know it is literally a different month to this now. What month are we even in? We're in April. Like, I know this is a long time off, I know it is. But what we're going to be doing is laying down expense tracker stickers to account for all of my spends. So let's get into that. So if you remember, I gave myself £40 just to get through the 2 weeks, just spending money. And then I had my holiday money. So starting off on the Sunday, we had a no spend. I didn't spend anything that day. You also may notice that I've got new tattoos, which are very, very painful at the moment. But I'll tell you about that next week because there's so much to go through, right? So I flew out actually on the 18th. So this is just a normal day and I did normal things. My Apple bill came out. Here it is. And that was as expected. It was $2.99. I got my haircut ready for holiday, you know, fresh cuts for the S words. And while I was in that other town, I filled up my tank with some petrol. I just put the remaining £30 that I'd saved up for it to go in there. That looks like 80, but it's 30. My tank wouldn't take 80. And I went to McDonald's. I think, you know, I have to think back about stuff. I think I went with my nephew and 11:30 was probably both of us. So actually on the flying day, I'm starting to use money from my holiday spends, right? So first of all, I went to W.H. Smith's. And the reason why is because on the flight, I wanted to use my Switch. But when I got to the airport, it just was not pairing with my wireless headphones. So I went to W.H. Smith's and I bought some wired headphones for £30. Like, I could have got that so much cheaper if I would have thought about it, but they just weren't pairing and I couldn't work it out. And it was a long flight. Like, I wanted to play a game, right? So that was the flight day and that was pretty much all I bought that day. But then from here onwards, I'm in Vegas. So let's get into that. Something I should also mention as well is that I took $250 as well in cash. I don't have an idea what I spent that on. That was mostly tipping and like maybe a few cabs and taxis and stuff like that. So I didn't record that. All we've got is what I spent out of my Monzo pot. So that stuff is up in the ether. I don't know where that money went. I really, really don't. But let's get... I feel like I am really frazzled. It's been a while since I filmed a video, Bestie. More about that later. Anyway, so you have to pay a resort fee when you stay. I don't know if it's an American thing or a Vegas thing, but you have to pay a resort fee and it gets partially refunded to you. So I did that from the holiday pot because I didn't really want to take from anything else. That was $545.77. And I think I got like £270 of that back. So that was that. A normal bill came out that day. So my car insurance came out that day. So got to account for that too. So that came out of my normal account. So we're getting into things that I did. So one of the things we did on the first day is we went to the Brewdog bar. It's like a rooftop bar in Vegas. I was absolutely punished by the sun, but it was really nice. Had a couple beers up there just to sort of relax and acclimatize yourself on the strip. It was really nice. And obviously, I have to familiarize myself with all the snacks I've missed out. I found like a really nice snack. So you know, Funyuns, they're like my favorite crisps in the world, right? I found an Outback Steakhouse version, which were, Bestie, they were absolutely chef's kiss elite. Like, they were so good. And then I think I had a pad thai somewhere just from like walking and just getting a bit hungry. So food in Vegas wasn't like a big deal. Like, so basically you'd have a breakfast that was so big that it'd keep you full till about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So only really ate like 2 very generous meals a day. That morning I had breakfast in the Luxor, and it was big, but I must have paid for that in cash. On the 20th, I've just got 2 trips to Walgreens, so it must have been snacks and sunscreen and just stuff like that. So it's 12:10 and 5:32. I know that morning, was it the Thursday? Maybe it was the Friday. I know that one of those mornings I was really struggling with getting to sleep on a reasonable time and waking up at normal time. So I was waking up at like 4:30 to 5 most mornings. So what I do in the morning is I just go for a run up the strip. So like, you know, just trying to do a 5k circuit up and down the strip was actually really nice because it was dark, but there weren't very many people around. So everything was lit up and it was quiet enough for you to like have a run, and it felt like you had Vegas to yourself. It was really nice to do that. So I did that like 2 or 3 times, like runs up the strip really early in the morning. There's a couple mornings where I definitely didn't wake up that early because I'd been drinking quite heavily the night before. More on that later, I guess. On the 21st, my gym membership came out as it normally does, and it was the normal price. I know I'm getting like 20% off at one time because I've got someone else to sign up to the gym, but I think that comes after the 3rd month, or I get £20 off or 20%, I can't remember. I've got a charge for Golden Gate, which was $40.54. I have no idea what that I do know what that is. So the night before we did this zip line experience. So it was a zip line across this really long street in something street, right? When you get to the end of the zip line, it was like a flying squirrel thing. It was really cool. But when you got to the end, there was like a massive bar, and that was 1 round. But like, here's a picture of me and my brother. These beers were like 3 pints in a beer, and the shot you can see in our hands, it was mental. But we got very merry that night. Lots of dancing, lots of buffoonery, but that would have been the night of, yeah. So I guess the charge came out the next day, so that was really cool. I know the next day I was feeling very worse for wear, so I walked up the strip by myself and I wanted to try raising canes because I see these people on TikTok with this cane sauce and they're like, oh, this is delicious, it's absolutely beautiful. I didn't rate it. I didn't think it was that good. I thought it was quite pickly and quite sour. I didn't like it. I went to ABC and I think I bought gum or something. I know ABC from Hawaii. I know that's a big thing there, but there's quite a lot of them up the strip. It's kind of like a gift shop, but they do gum and drinks and things like that. Obviously, I'm going to Walgreens as well, just all the time. Probably, I don't know, ibuprofen, I don't know what I got. And for dinner, we went to Cheesecake Factory together because we all wanted to experience it. I have never been so full in my life. I had a mac and cheese burger, which was absolutely beautiful. And no, I'm not really a dessert person, right? And I wouldn't normally have a dessert at a restaurant after eating stuff. Because you're in the Cheesecake Factory, you kind of have to. And I had this coconut cheesecake, which was, it was so good. It was so good, but there's no way you could finish a whole slice of that. Absolutely not. But yeah, I spent $71.64. That was like a main and a cheesecake and tip. Chef's kiss. So on the weekend, kind of got a bit over Vegas in terms of how much you have to walk, how hot it is. It's just quite intense. We also went at the same time as spring break as well, so it was really starting to get really busy. So we decided to hire a car. Me, my brother and Kyla decided to hire a car just to get out of Vegas for the weekend and do some other stuff because we still had a couple days like once we'd returned, right? So we decided to go like hike a mountain. I think it's called the Spring Mountain, and we were told it was cold up there. There was snow and stuff like that, so I was like, oh, let's go get some jackets or something. So we went to Ross. There were no jackets because obviously we're in the middle of a desert. Of course there's no jackets, so obviously I bought like random stuff. I think I bought a pair of trainers. I got quite a lot for my money, to be fair. I must have got the bus somewhere that day because that was $6.21. I know these prices are random, but they wouldn't have been random if they were dollars, right? I went to Ross twice that day. I must have done 2 transactions. I don't know. I know that I got trainers, 2 t-shirts. I don't know. I have no idea. Obviously I went to CVS, and I don't want you to think that I was constantly snacking. I'm talking, I went to CVS because I wanted like a drink, and then I saw something that looked delicious, and it's so wasteful, but you're full because like you've had such a big breakfast, but you're like, oh, that looks interesting, let me try it, and you have like 3 out of the packet and then don't eat the rest. Like, it's very wasteful, but I wanted to try stuff. And then I spent $49.13 at Diego's Farm. I don't really know what that is. I think that is Cracker Barrel. We went to Cracker Barrel that day. So after we did this hike, which was beautiful, such a beautiful experience. Like, it was mind-bending to be in the middle of the Nevada desert and yet you're up a mountain and you're walking on snow. It was like a 5K hike. It was nothing serious, but it was really lovely to be there. Like, it was so nice. And then afterwards we had Cracker Barrel, which I wanted to experience it. I had meatloaf for the first time, and I'm not a meatloaf fan, really not. I didn't like it. God knows where I was spending all my money at Walgreens, but that's like what holiday is like, isn't it? Like, I think I would have run out of sunscreen at that point and bought more or something like that. Probably bought a couple beers as well. For breakfast, we went to Eggworks, which was outside of Vegas off the strip, because it looked really nice. I think it's like Hawaiian owned or something. I had Pog, which I love from going to Hawaii. So that was really nice. So that day we went to the Valley of Fire for a hike, and we did a hike called, I think it's called the Seven Wonders. It was like, the name is correct, Valley of Fire. It was probably the hottest I have ever been in my life. It was insanely hot, but because you're in the middle of a desert, you're not sweating very much. 5K took us about 2 hours to walk, and that's double what it normally would, just because it's not like you're exhausted, you just move slower. I think your body just conserves energy a bit differently when you're that hot. I mean, parts of it you are walking on like the finest dust sand you've ever experienced in your life, but like most of the time you're hiking up huge rocks and hills, and it was gorgeous, like so nice. And we're in the hire car, like it was really nice. But anyway, that was just buying some drinks at the center at the start of it. So I just bought some drinks. I spent apparently £4.80 at PBG. I don't know what PBG is, but I did. So there's that. I think Carlos and Charlie's was like a little margarita bar actually in the Flamingo. Oh, by the way, I stayed in the Flamingo. I think there was that, and I think we did like happy hour, and I had a couple of like margaritas or something. And of course I went to CVS. I don't know what that was. Gum? I don't know. So on that day, my calves were a bit buggered, because at that point I'd done like 3 or 4 5K runs. I'd hiked up a mountain and through a desert, and obviously the strip, you're walking on it every day. I was probably averaging about 30 to 40,000 steps per day. So my calves were really feeling it. So I went to this place called Vitality, and I got one of those aqua massages. It did absolutely nothing, but it was a nice experience anyway. It's like you lay down in a bed and then like loads of jet washers go up and down your body. So it feels nice, but it's not anything proper. I went to Target and spent $14.64. They didn't have a proper Target, it was just a food Target, and I know I bought alcohol. Also during the day, I was a bit thirsty, and they've got these places called Fat Tuesday, and we don't have those in the UK, and basically it's like slushies, but what I didn't realise is they were really alcoholic. So I got a fruit punch one, and then she says, oh, do you want a 1 shot in it or 5 shots? So obviously you're like, I'll have 5 shots please. So I'm drinking this slushie, and I realised I'm really drunk, and it's 11 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, that's my life. Also on that day, I went to Walmart. I spent $70.81. I think the most expensive thing I bought was some new pens. It's wild. It's wild. I mean, like, I didn't want to bring any junk food back with me because I'd only eat it. So I had a lot of self-restraint. I bought a new hat. It was cool. The next day we went back to Brewdog just for a drink. Like, I think we were getting a bit of Vegas fatigue at that point. We just wanted to sit down, because everywhere you sit you have to be doing something. You have to be gambling, eating too much or drinking too much. We just wanted to chill. So that was a really nice rooftop bar, Brewdog. I took my brother and Kyla to the Meow Wolf Omega Mart exhibition, which I had wanted to go to for ages. It was incredible. It was it was very trippy, but I had read about it beforehand, and trying to sort of decipher what it's all about was really fun. It was really good. That evening as well, I took my niece and her boyfriend to see Drag Race live, which was absolutely wicked. If you're ever in Vegas, go see it. I haven't watched Drag Race in maybe 10 years just because it got a bit samey, but it was really nice to watch it. I really enjoyed it. Like, a lot of the queens I didn't know, and it was nice to share that with my niece as well. I think before Drag Race, I went to Main Street Microbrew, which was on that street I can't remember the name of, and I had chicken wings. Yeah, chicken wings and onion rings, I think. I know that I got an Uber between Fremont Street. That's where it is. I know I got an Uber between Fremont Street and Vegas because we were in Fremont Street at the microbrew, and then I had to take an Uber by myself back to the Flamingo to take my niece to see Drake. I know. Yeah, that's what happened. And I've got New York, which is a hotel at the top of or the bottom. I don't know. I don't know what's top and what's bottom, but pretty sure that's where I had breakfast. Probably had steak. A lot of meat that holiday. A lot of meat. On the last day, I went to Sephora because my friend wanted me to pick up some makeup for her because you can't get it in the UK. They were really helpful because I don't really know what I'm doing or what I'm looking at. I just showed them the picture that she sent me and they said, oh, we don't have that, but we have something similar, and apparently it's nice. But yeah, I felt really cute carrying around the Sephora bag. I felt like a right, like, girly pop. I liked it. Also, on the last day, me and Kyla went on a solo mission together. We went back to the Cheesecake Factory to see if we could share one slice of cheesecake and get through it. We got a Reese's peanut butter slice of cheesecake and we were like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna get through it. We could not. There was 2 of us attacking this cheesecake. We could not do it. Incredibly delicious. I think that slice of cheesecake had nearly 2,000 calories. Wild behavior. I know that we spent some time in that Carlos and Charlie's as well in the Flamingo because someone we were there with won a load of money on roulette. So I only spent $29.89, but we spent some time there. Also, because we had checked out, the Flamingo gave me $269.07 back as well, which was the refund for, like, I guess it was the resort fees. Then we flew back on the Thursday. I was still spending holiday money at that point. On the way back, we stopped at a Shell. I think I got a drink and I don't know. Oh yeah, I bought some stuff on Temu actually. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was because maybe it was the weather, maybe it was I don't know. I like to wear clear tunnels and they're quite thin. Both of them just cracked spontaneously. And I don't know whether it was the temperature, the altitude, being on a plane too much, or the fact that, you know, the sun. I don't know what it was, but they'd cracked. So I needed to buy some more. So I spent £15.08 on Temu and I actually got these wooden ones as well, which are quite nice. And then when I came back, it was about catching up on sleep and not really leaving the house. So I had 2 no spends in a row. That's what I spent on holiday. It's a lot. Like, it really is a lot. We're going to do a check-in, but we're not going to like cash stuff for next because I've already been talking at you for 25 minutes. I don't know what this is edited down to, but this is a lot of video. It really, really is. So that's basically what happened. So let's move over to the check-in. We're going to check in for week 3 and 4 right here. So let's move this here. Okay, so I'm going to start by filling in everything that I know. Okay, so starting with spending, if you remember, I gave myself £45 in previous weeks. I spent $41.30 and that wasn't on a lot of stuff. That was just a bit of junk and it was those headphones, wasn't it? I spent $41.30. That would normally give me £3.70. We are going to put that into the leap year tin, so that's exciting to go, but we are going to roll over 0. In terms of petrol and haircut, it's exactly the same. We added nothing in and I put petrol in and I got my hair cut, so there's nothing to roll over into the new month. So holiday, basically I'd saved up £2,000. I'd spent £400 on getting there, so like my Esther suitcase and some activities I prepaid for, so like the zip line I prepaid for. So that's, oh yeah, and parking at the airport, that sort of stuff. So I spent £400. Something happened as well, like I got really nervous that I put the resort fees on the wrong card, so I did transfer in another £400, and that money came from, do you remember the previous week when we did the consolidation together? Came from 2 challenges, like 2, I think it was the primary challenge and something else. So I added in another 400 just to make sure. Really my goal was 1604, but I put that as a safety net and I actually spent 1604.18. So I was 18p over. That was wild. So that left me with 399.82. So that's just going to go back into those challenges. So it's just going to go back in. I'll find 18p from somewhere and just chuck it back in. So I didn't need to touch them, but it's nice to have a safety net just in case, right? And there were no unbudgeted spends. So we're pretty much closing out the month here. I know we've got, if we go back to the calendar, we still got the, if you look here, the 30th and the 31st to account for, but I'm not going to worry about that because I've already missed a week already, so I'm going to be checking in for 2 weeks next week anyway. But we stuffed 445 and we spent 1,705.48, which is crazy money, but I had such an incredible time. And that leaves me with the 399.82, but I'm not actually going to roll that over. I'm going to re-put that back into sinking funds. So that's us done with that. So here's the £3.70, and here, bestie, is the leap year tin. The cash that I had, I just kept in here just because it was so temporary. But I got £3.70, and I need to do literal. Well, I've got my phone here actually. So I've got 370 and I want to do the highest number, which is 207. So that's minus 207. That leaves me a 163. Do I have a 163? I do. Lovely. Let's get this pen. So we do the highest number and the 163. This is really coming along really nicely, besties. So let's put that in her. And then we are essentially done for the week. So I will update you on why I have not uploaded a video in a while. Thankfully, there was one ready to go the week I came back from holiday. But yeah, so bestie, I've been away from YouTube for a little bit longer than I anticipated. It was a bit disappointing for me because I had really started to get back into a streak, and if you follow me over on Don't Trust Ira, I'm back to doing 2 lives a week now. So I'm starting to get back to finding love with doing YouTube videos. I am enjoying making them again. I know they're like a heavy edit for me and stuff like that, but I enjoy that time. Anyway, it started to look and feel really good. I was excited about doing stuff, and then on the Monday, the 31st, the day after Mother's Day, my mum suddenly and unexpectedly passed away. It was the worst thing that has ever happened in my life. It was horrible, and as you can quite fully understand, I was an absolute mess for a week, and making a YouTube video was the last thing I wanted to do. I had quite a lot in the chamber in terms of what was prepared for you already, so one video did go out. I just couldn't get to it, and I think you'll all understand that and appreciate that and respect that. So thank you for everybody that like reached out to me, because I told people on Don't Trust Ira earlier about it, but that's why I still stuck with Etsy orders as well, so only a couple went late. I'm back on track with that now, so if you want to put in an order or anything like that, it's absolutely fine. I am very up to date with it. Patreon's also gone out as well, so you know, it's been like nearly a week and a half since it happened now, and honestly in my heart I feel at peace and okay. Obviously I would rather it didn't happen, but I feel at peace. There's a lot of stuff to organize. I've got a very big family, a very incredible friendship network as well, so I am doing absolutely fine. So that's why I am going to be back to normal. But you know, apologies that this video was late, apologies that subsequent videos may be late. I've got a lot going on at the moment, but you are very important to me, so I do want to make sure that these videos are coming out. So that's what happened, yeah. Thank you so much for getting through to the end of the video. You know I love it when you get through to the end of the video. Please give this video some love. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you are going to comment, please use this emoji. Are you clocking my tattoos, bestie? Look at me. I'm like a tattooed lady. That hurt so much. Have you considered becoming a channel member or a patron? Patrons get exclusive content, secrets, and significant discount off my Etsy shop. And there has been a Patreon video, a couple of Patreon exclusive videos go up over on Patreon recently. We have a whole vlog on there. So even £1 members get to watch that as well. So, you know, if you want to watch it, it's there for you. I've got a new sort of practice podcast video going up there very soon, and in the background you'll see me packing Patreon as well. So it's a lovely place to be. So if you're considering it, have a look at the link in the description. It's a beautiful place to be, and it supports me massively. While you're here, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to my other channel, Don't Trust Ira. If you like me and what I'm all about, you know, we have fun, we have chats and all of that. You know, by the time this video goes out, you wouldn't have seen, it would have already gone. But tonight I'm laminating like 300 envelopes. At the moment we're designing a whole collection together. The choices so far are elite, bestie. They are, you know, you lot have done a really good job. So we've made 300 cash envelopes so far, and tonight we're going to laminate them, but I've still got 300 more. We've got zippers to make, we've got budget booklets, we've got binders, we've got a load of stuff to make together, and it's going to take a long process. So join me over on my other channel every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 PM GMT. Make sure you subscribe. But anyway, we are at the end of today's video. It has been a blast. I will be back properly, and yeah, I don't have anything else to say. I'm about to film another video in a sec, and that is going to be April's budget, so that will probably go out mid-April. I mean, You get what you get at this point. But until the next video, bestie, I would like you to have a wonderful day, have a wonderful week, and have a wonderful budget. Always remember, don't trust Ira. Right, okay. Maybe I do like a little, how much I spent on holiday and like a stressed out head, like thumbnail, right? Maybe I'm like, oh, I'm so stressed out. Do I look stressed? I love making videos. I love hanging out with you. All right, I'll see you really, really soon because you've got another video soon, bestie. All right, see you later. I need to go and edit this. Stop talking, Ira. All right, bye.